Okay, everyone, so this video is to go over how to do Punnett square word problems, and it's just an extra practice. If you're still struggling, if you got it, then you're good. But I'm going to work off of our word problems assignment that I gave you a while ago, and I'm going to go through scenario 1, and hopefully that should help you do scenario 2 and the rest of them. So as a reminder, all of the information that we need to know is right here. So it tells us what trait we're looking at, which one's dominant and which one's recessive, which is all going to be really important later on. Oop. Okay, for scenario 1, first step is always to read our word problems. So here we have Farmer Bill has 2 homozygous animals that he would like to breed. The male is a homozygous black animal, and the female is a homozygous brown animal. So using a Punnett square, determine the probability of the color of their offspring for genotype and phenotype percentages. So now looking at the important pieces of information, we have a homozygous black animal and a homozygous brown animal. So automatically in your brain, you should think, all right, the 2 letters are going to be the exact same, whether they're going to be big or dominant or whether they're going to be recessive. So that should be your automatic first thought. Now, how do we know which is which? Again, we're going to go up here. We're looking at color. We know that the big dominant allele is black and the recessive is brown. So we're going to use that information to figure out what these genotypes look like. For the homozygous black animal, we look up here. Black is our dominant, and it's homozygous, so they're going to be the same. So we have 2 big dominant letters. So we're going to put this over here, outside of our Punnett square. Second one is our homozygous brown. So again, we go back up here. We see that brown is a recessive trait, and it's homozygous. So again, it's going to look the same. So these 2 letters are going to be lowercase. Homozygous, recessive. So then I'll put that on the other side of my Punnett square. Now to put our Punnett square together, you're just going to bring down those alleles from the top and bring the alleles over from the left until you have all of these. So this example is really easy because they're all the same. That's not always the case. So when we're doing the genotype and phenotype percentages, your first step should always just be to write out every single genotype that you see. So we could have a homozygous dominant, a heterozygous, or a homozygous recessive. We could. Those are the options that we could possibly have. But in this Punnett square, we have all that look the exact same. So I'm not going to put those. I'm just going to put heterozygous. Bam. And then we're going to look at the percentage. So how many of all of our babies are heterozygous? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 4 is going to be 100%. Okay. So I'm going to make this quick note over here as well. Don't forget that each box is worth 25%. So if I wanted to do this mathematically, I could say 25 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25 equals 100. Therefore, I have 100% heterozygous offspring. I'm going to clear this up a little bit. For our phenotype percentages, remember that's a little different because with phenotypes, we're looking at the physical characteristic. So the physical trait here, again, is the color. Are we black or are we brown? So then you're going to look here. You're going to tell me if you have black offspring or brown offspring or both. So because they're all the same, we have 100% heterozygous, they're all going to be the same phenotype as well, right? It doesn't make sense to have the same genotype and different phenotypes. So they're either going to be black or brown. But how do we know? The law of dominance says that every time we have at least one dominant allele, we will see that dominant trait. So again, look up here. What's the dominant trait? Black. Therefore, our phenotype is going to be black. And because every single one of our babies has the same genotype, 100% of them are going to be black. Okay. So hopefully that was a helpful reminder on how to do Punnett squares. This is a really simple example. There are more complicated ones. You just have to write out all of the genotypes and phenotypes you see. So if you see more than one, write them all down. Be very specific about which genotypes and phenotypes you're referring to when you give me a percentage. All right, if you have any questions on this, please don't hesitate to let me know. Have a great day.